Hi travelers, welcome to our episode. We're going to South Africa. But before we venture in and we do our trivia, I'm releasing an album. It's a house album with kind of space vibes on July 18th. So please look out for that, and I would love if you stream it or purchase it. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's get into our trivia. Okay. Marrakesh is the fourth and most populated city in which country? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's Morocco. Somewhere I want to go. All right, we're sticking with the 4 theme. What 4 countries make up the United Kingdom? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it is England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Okay. What is the official language of the Falkland Islands? So these islands are off Argentina, and they've been kind of contentious with this other country. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it is English. All right, so we'll get back to that a little later on. It's funny, so the cards, we were doing the little trivia, there was so much South Africa. So I said, you know what, let me go into South Africa. My goal is to be in each continent, so I have 2 left. So if you've been following and listening, you should know what 2 are left. So I decided to do Cape Town. I found this website called Trip Savvy, and this is supposed to be like 48 hours in Cape Town. Obviously, you should probably spend more, but say if you're going to other parts of South Africa, you want to see Cape Town and then other places. There's great national parks there, deserts, cities, beach towns. This would be a nice little 2-day itinerary. Okay, so let's just get into a little background of Cape Town. It's the legislative capital of South Africa and the country's cultural epicenter. So really, when Cape Town's probably one of the most popular cities, and Joburg in South Africa. Historic landmarks tell the story of those that came before. From the first Portuguese and Dutch explorers to French, British colonists, and immigrants from Southeast Asia, and obviously the local population. You can learn about the apartheid era fight for freedom at sites like Robben Island in District 6. While the very best of Southern Africa is represented by a slew of theaters, art galleries, and fine dining opportunities. Apartheid is the government policy to keep people separated by class. So you can still see that in South Africa today. So Cape Town is usually ranked as one of the most beautiful cities in the world. It has twin shores, and it lies on the Atlantic Ocean by the iconic Table Mountain, which we'll get into. So the country has, the region has beaches, and they're also known for their vineyards where they grow wine. All right, so let's start off with Robben Island, okay? So Robben Island is located in Cape Town's Table Bay and is one of the most important and top historic travel attractions. For centuries, it was used as a penal colony, primarily for political prisoners. Although its maximum security prisons have now closed, the island remains famous as a place where former South African President Nelson Mandela was an inmate for 18 years. Many leading members of political parties were imprisoned alongside of him. In 1997, Robben Island was turned into a museum, and in 1999, it was declared UNESCO World Heritage Site. We talked about that before, and again, that's an agency that says, wow, this is really, really historical and important. It has become an extremely important symbol for the new South Africa, reflecting the triumph of democracy over apartheid and the ongoing journey towards racial tolerance. So you can take a tour of it. I've kind of been something similar with my best friend Rachel. We went to Alcatraz off the coast of San Francisco. So again, it's the whole idea of you're stuck on an island and it's hard for you to escape. Okay, so we're going to talk about the V&A waterfront but it's a 30-minute ferry ride from downtown Cape Town to Robben Island. But the crossing can be a little rough, so be prepared. And if the weather gets bad, the ferries will cancel tours. All right, so this is about touring the island. It begins with an hour-long bus ride of the island. You will learn about the history and ecology, and it was also used as a military base and a leper colony. Leper colonies were when people were isolated for when being sick. All right, you'll get off the bus at a limestone quarry where Nelson Mandela and other members spent many years doing hard labor. All right, so you get to learn about the history and also get to see what they were forced to do. All right, it was in this cave that some of the more educated prisoners taught others how to read and write by scratching in the dirt. History, politics, biology were among the subjects taught at this prison university. And it's said that a good part of South Africa's current constitution was written there. It was the only place that prisoners were able to escape the watchful eyes of the guard. So it was a maximum security prison where more than 3,000 political prisoners were held from 1960 to 1991. All right, so you're going to walk through different cells and learn about different people. The tour also is a visit to the courtyard where Mandela later tended a small garden. It was here that he started writing his famous autobiography, Long Walk to Freedom. All right, so the tour is around 3.5 hours, including the ferry trip to Robben Island. I mean, this is as of a while ago, 2019, it was $25. So probably, I would say 50 at this point in 2025. And it sails 4 times a day. So again, things are different. This is from 2019, but the idea is that you get to see what you get to see there. All right, so we're going to now head back into the city, and we're going into the neighborhood of Bo-Kaap, okay? And this is located in Cape Town city center in the foothills of Signal Hill, and it's named for the Afrikaans phrase above the Cape. Today, it's known as the most Instagrammable placeables of the country, thanks to its pastel-colored houses and picturesque cobbled streets. All right, really, this is an old and historic residential area, and it's synonymous with the Islamic Cape Malay culture, evidence which can be found throughout the area, from halal restaurants to haunting sounds of muezzin's call to prayer. Okay, so Bo-Kaap neighborhood was first developed in the 1760s by Dutch colonists, and they built small rental properties. And since the Dutch East Indies took people from and exiled them to South Africa, they came from Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia as slaves towards the end of the 17th century. Some were convicts or slaves in their countries, but others were political prisoners from wealthy, influential backgrounds. Almost all of them practiced Islam as their religion. So Islam has a long history with slavery, and that happened here in South Africa. All right, so during apartheid, it was segregated populations, kind of like separate neighborhoods for each religion. So Bo-Kaap was designated as a Muslim-only area, and other people were removed. All right, things to do and see. So you can see the architecture. The oldest building was built in 1768 and furnished like a house of wealthy 19th century Cape Malay family. The museum offers an insight to life back then. There's also Muslim heritage sites you can visit. The Awal Mosque dates back to 1794, before religious freedom was granted in South Africa. It's the country's oldest mosque and home to a handwritten copy of the Quran. Okay, now, restaurants. Let's eat. After the historic sites, sample the famous Cape Malay cuisine, a unique blend of Middle Eastern, Southeast Asian, and Dutch styles. Cape Malay cooking uses plenty of fruit and spices, including fragrant curries, rotis, and samosas, all of which can be purchased at several Bo-Kaap street stalls and restaurants. So two of the most authentic eating places serve staples like Denagivis and Batoi, no, Booti. I have to Google that. And for a dessert, you can try Koik Sister, a spice plated donut cooked in syrup and sprinkled with coconut. I probably said that wrong and I apologize. So you get to really taste and see the community. I think that's a really fun place to go to. Okay. Now we're moving on to the two more surroundings, environmental stuff, a little more outside stuff. Table Mountain, this is quintessential Cape Town. Okay, with a summit of 3,560 feet, Table Mountain may be way down the list of the world's tallest mountains, but it's iconic in its own right. Visible over Cape Town, its flat top silhouette is instantly recognizable and contributes to the mother city's reputation as one of the most beautiful cities in the world. Formed by volcanic and glacial action approximately 520 million years ago, Table Mountain is thought to be one of the oldest mountains in the world. It's at least 6 times older than the Himalayas. Together with Cape Peninsula, it's part of the UNESCO recognized Cape Floral Kingdom, the smallest of 6 plant kingdoms and the only one to be contained within a single country. Despite its small size, the Cape Floral Kingdom is home to around 9,000 distinct plant species, 69% of which are found nowhere else on Earth. Okay, you can do hiking if you're feeling energetic. You can hike up and down Table Mountain, and there's a cable car. So the Table Mountain cable car was first opened in 1929 and is now by far the most popular way to reach the summit. All right, its sleek capsule carries up to 65 people each and can take 5 minutes to travel between the lower station and the upper station. On the way, you enjoy dizzying panoramas of the city and the Atlantic Ocean beyond. The capsules rotate to ensure all passengers are given a 360 view. All right, so again, you can hike, look for wildlife, and join a guided tour. All right, before we finish up, there is a waterfront area, and the V&A waterfront area. It's called Victorian Alfred Waterfront, and this is where you would get the ferry to Robben Island, but it also has other landmarks. It has the famous clock tower, the Newport Captain's Office, and the pump house, from which the continent's first electric lights were powered. All right, and they have a dry dock too. So this is known for shopping, besides historical stuff, a vast light-filled warehouse providing space for more than 150 vendors. So this is a good place if you want to get some local art or souvenirs, and it supports the locals. Okay, you can also take helicopter tours from here, and there is a marine life at Two Oceans Aquarium. So just south of Cape Town, the tropical Indian Ocean, which is the hottest ocean, meets the temperate Atlantic, creating a unique ecosystem defined by its incredibly diverse marine life. So at the Two Oceans Aquarium, you can see this on the exhibits. So you get to meet ragged-toothed sharks at the Predators exhibit, or fall in love with penguin exhibits, comical colony of African penguins. There's feeding time and other things. And I talked about the cruise, and then there's also V&A food market. So food markets are a really cool way to walk around and get different types of food, and usually it's at a cheaper price than a restaurant, so you can do that too. And there's a Waterfront's Art and Diamonds Museum. So there's a lot of stuff to do here, and at night they have entertainment, live music, there's a Ferris wheel, so there's plenty of stuff to do. So that's your 2 days in Cape Town. I do want to get there. They do have direct flights from Newark, I believe, so it's there. Actually, we talked for our 50th, my friend group from Rutgers, of maybe doing a safari. South Africa might be calling. All right, let's wrap this up. All right, some trivia. How many stars are there on China's flag? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5. Oh my gosh, we're back in South Africa. Okay, if South Africans wear plakies on their feet and Brits wear flip-flops, what do Australians wear? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, thongs. So it's like a different word for sandals. Okay. Okay. The Statue of Liberty was a gift to the United States from which country? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it is France. And I'll be going there next year. Oh. All right. So I want to thank you again. Please subscribe. Please like. And my album, again, is coming out July 18th. And just remember, if you know geography, you know anyone. Okay? Thank you. Bye.